Good evening. We'll call to order this meeting for Monday, May 5th, 2025 for the City of Gahanna City Council. Please join me and stand while Council Vice President Trenton Weaver delivers the invocation and Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you. As we gather, we are grateful for, appreciate, and use each day that comes before us. For each day's duties and in each day's difficulties, we are challenged to give our best always in service to one another and to our community. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Weaver. Mr. Van Meter, would you please call the roll?
Bowers.
Here.
Jones.
Here.
McGregor.
Here.
Padova.
Here.
Renner. Here. Schnetzer. Here. Weaver.
Here.
Thank you, Mr. Van Meter. Are there any additions or corrections to this evening's agenda? All right, hearing none, we'll move into Section C of this evening's agenda, presentations. The first item is a joint resolution proclamation recognizing ALS Month, and I will turn this over to Mr. Schnetzer to introduce.
Thank you, President Bowers. As some of you might already be aware, the month of May is ALS Awareness Month. This evening, we have the opportunity to partner with ALS Association Ohio Chapter and Ms. Tamara Carter, United States of America, Miss Ohio 2025, in this observation. This is a joint resolution and proclamation with partnership from the mayor recognizing ALS Awareness Month. I want to thank Ms. Carter and ALS Association of Ohio for joining us this evening. And as usual at this time, we'll just ask my colleagues if they would like to join us up front on the floor. We'll do the formal presentation and take a quick photo and turn it over to our guests for any remarks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Paparazzi, but you're used to that, aren't you?
Thank you, Gahanna City Council and our mayor today for this great honor. My name is Tamara Carter. I'm a Gahanna resident, ALS Association advocate, student in your USOA Miss Ohio 2025. But no title is more important to me than caregiver. I've been a caregiver to my dad battling ALS for the past few years. It's by far my most challenging role, but I would do it again in any lifetime. ALS is a disease that weakens your nervous system. It takes away your ability to walk, talk, and eat on your own. It is currently no cure for this disease. It affects every 1 in 300 people. But this proclamation today is a testament that we will not give up on this fight. Because every day we fight, we become one day closer to finding a cure. Thank you to our City Council and Mayor of Gahanna for helping us raise awareness for this disease. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's it.
All right. Thank you so much, Ms. Carter. We appreciate your advocacy and, of course, your care for your father. Next presentation on this evening's agenda, under item 2, is a Human Resources and Information Technology update. Good evening.
Well, good evening. Hi. It's a pleasure to provide an update on the Department of Human Resources this evening. My name is Ben Nolan. I'm the Human Resources Manager for the City of Gahanna, and tonight I'll walk you through our current operations, completed initiatives, and upcoming priorities for 2025. To quickly go over the department makeup, the department consists of a human resources representative, 2 human resources administrators, the human resources manager, and we are overseen by the Senior Director of Administrative Services, who also serves as the Human Resources Director. Here's a photo of the current team. We have myself, Katie, Tiffany, and our newest HR administrator, Deborah. We currently have 210 full-time employees, 17 part-time employees. Of these employees, approximately 30% of our employees are also residents of Gahanna. So far in 2025, we've had 10 new hires and 8 promotions. A large lift for both the HR and recreation teams is to staff our pools, camps, events, paddle boats, and golf course with seasonal employees. We currently are in the process of engaging 269 seasonal employees for this summer. And so next, I'd like to talk about our 2025 hiring plan. So from the 2025 budget, we introduced multiple positions. The recruiting process for the positions under the hired column have been completed, and the in progress column are positions that are in the process of being filled. These were funded at various lengths, but the ones in progress are funded under 1 year. So next, I'd like to talk about updates we've made to how the HR team manages the civil service process, as that's a big part of our work. So we've updated our process to make the civil service hiring process more efficient. Annually in Q4, we solicit applications and provide several testing times and dates in November. From these tests, we create eligible lists for parks maintenance workers, service maintenance workers, and customer service specialists. This has created a cadence where we create a list that is used for the entire following calendar year and is always available for new positions and unexpected turnover. Next, I'd like to shift our focus to our professional development efforts. So there are 2 kinds of professional development that we participate in. Essentially, they are the external kind, where the city partners with professional organizations that provide training. There are several examples on the slide, and I would highlight the Emerging Leaders Program that is driven by Pradco. In the past, the city has funded the Management Development Program, and we've found the stretch assignments to be valuable outcomes from these programs. The other type of professional development is internal, where we utilize the learning management system and in-person, in-service style training. We plan to have professionals come to the city and train and develop our employees on upcoming needs and different workplace knowledge, skills, and abilities. So next, I'd like to talk about the HR team's completed initiatives. We have made some updates to our wellness programming. The current collective bargaining agreement for the FOP and the OLC has the Resiliency Reboot Program, which requires officers and communication technicians to attend 2 mental health check-ins per year. We've also added a Wellness Week in May to align with Mental Health Awareness Month. This Wellness Week includes daily events for that week for all employees to attend. So next, we have updated our onboarding processes. So we've leveraged our HRIS onboarding module to allow for digital onboarding. This reduces paper use and supports sustainability efforts. It also creates efficiencies in processing new hire documents. Our digital rehire process is typically used for our returning seasonal hires. This has also reduced waste and created efficiencies for the HR team. This has greatly reduced foot traffic in the department, and the HR team no longer collects any physical paperwork. We implemented a new benefit this year, and that is short-term disability, and this is available to unclassified FOP and OLC members. We've had success with employees who need to take extended time off work and not worry about clearing out their entire leave banks. We also migrated all employees to a new ancillary benefits provider. We now use MetLife for dental, vision, life, and several other ancillary benefits. This change has allowed for our employees to have one point of contact for nearly all of their benefits. Finally, we'll talk now about the HR team's ongoing and current initiatives. So the Fund Committee is a completely employee-led and driven committee with funding and oversight by the HR department. The committee has created a series of standard operating procedures to act as a guiding document for current operations and future endeavors. They also have elected a leadership board to keep events and activities on track. This committee is tasked with creating and implementing engagement activities all year for all employees. So far, they've had 4 events, and we currently have 5 additional events in 2025. And next, I'd like to shift our focus to our upcoming priorities. So our onboarding academy, we're working on an onboarding academy for all new hires. This process was developed by the Management Development Program through Pradco. This outcome was a stretch assignment for my cohort and includes a year-long process for new hires to internally network, discover the connections with their department and role with other departments, and to understand how their role fits into the overall operation of the city. We also are continuing to review employee and wellness benefits with our existing broker. And we're working on updating the Employee Recognition and Awards program based on feedback from the recent Emerging Leaders program. The intent is to continue gathering employee feedback and create an employee-led and driven recognition program. The current committee is working to establish new awards that will be given out at various times throughout the year. In the latter part of the year, the city and the United Steelworkers Union will begin negotiating a successor agreement to the current collective bargaining agreement. And then finally, we will also continue to enhance the employee experience based on data from our employee engagement survey. So at this time, I welcome any questions you have, and thank you for allowing me to provide an update on the hard work that the HR team continues to do every day.
Thank you so much, Mr. Nolan. Colleagues, any questions this evening? All right. No, thank you so much. Oh,
I had
yes.
just one.
Ms. Jones.
Can you remind me, the engagement survey, is that annually, and when does that happen?
So this was, it's currently a one-time initiative. We
Okay.
engaged Pradco. It happens once, and then we have a remeasure in the next year.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody think of anything else? All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Nolan. We appreciate the work that you're doing and your team.
Hi, good evening.
My name is Renee Carter, and I serve as the Director of Information Technology for the City of Gahanna. I appreciate the opportunity to highlight some of the important work being done by our dedicated information technology team. Our department reports to the Senior Director of Administrative Services, Miranda Vollmer. We're a capable team that includes 2 support specialists, a network administrator, a systems administrator, a GIS administrator, and an asset administrator. This year, we're excited to expand our team with the addition of a systems analyst who will report directly to the systems administrator. Before diving into specific projects, it's important to understand the foundation of our work, the essential services we provide daily to keep city operations running smoothly. The IT department plays a vital role in supporting city staff across a wide range of services. These include network infrastructure and cybersecurity, help desk and technical support, GIS and asset management, and comprehensive storage solutions, including data backup and recovery. Beyond day-to-day support, we also provide citywide assistance, help manage the onboarding and offboarding of employees, oversee technology life cycles, help prepare for seasonal operations, and deliver technical guidance and training to all departments. In the next 2 slides, I'll walk you through 2 key citywide projects we've been working on that demonstrate the impact of our department's efforts. The first major initiative is the implementation of a new city 911 dispatch system. Gahanna has partnered with 4 police departments, Whitehall, Grandview Heights, Reynoldsburg, and Bexley, to form a unified dispatch network known as EPSIS, the Eastern Public Safety Information System. Our IT team is leading the network design and system implementation efforts for this project. The new system is scheduled to go live in late September this year and will enhance communication, coordination, and efficiency across all participating jurisdictions. The second key initiative is the development of Gahanna's new municipal complex. Our team is heavily involved in several critical aspects, including designing and securing the network infrastructure, implementing building access systems and security cameras, replacing core servers and storage systems, and establishing a new 911 communications center. As part of this project, we're also responsible for mastering the new technology ourselves and providing hands-on training to ensure city staff can use these tools effectively from day one. To give you a sense of our day-to-day work and reach, here's a quick snapshot of the support we've provided so far this year, including ticket resolution and the wide range of technology we manage across the city. So far this year, our team has resolved 559 support tickets, with 187 originating from the police department and 101 from Parks and Recreation. In addition to resolving technical issues, we actively manage a wide range of hardware across the city. This includes 42 desktop computers, 5 dispatch workstations, 156 laptops, 22 cruiser tablets, 16 Windows tablets, 53 iPads, 85 servers, and 46 cell phones. Our goal is to ensure every piece of equipment functions reliably and securely in support of city operations. Next, I'd like to highlight several of our cybersecurity initiatives and ongoing efforts to protect the city's digital infrastructure. Cybersecurity continues to be one of our top priorities, and we've taken several important steps this year to strengthen our digital defenses. We participate in CISA's Cyber Hygiene Scanning Program, which proactively scans our network servers for vulnerabilities. This allows us to identify and address potential risks before they become real threats, significantly reducing our exposure to cyber attacks. We've also expanded our single sign-on SSO platform, adding 8 new applications over the past year. This not only simplifies access for employees, but also improves overall security through centralized authentication. We plan to continue expanding our SSO offerings in the coming year. In addition, we've completed key infrastructure security upgrades, including firmware and software updates to our utility systems, improving system integrity and resilience. And finally, we remain committed to cybersecurity education. Every June, all people with a Gahanna.gov email address participate in mandatory cybersecurity awareness training. This program reinforces best practices and helps ensure that staff stay alert and informed in the face of evolving cyber threats. Looking ahead, the 2025 budget is allowing us to move forward with several strategic security expansions, all aimed at improving our ability to detect, prevent, and respond to evolving security threats. One of the most impactful tools we're implementing is a network detection and response system, also known as NDR. This solution uses AI-driven technology to continuously monitor our network, detect anomalies in real time, and enable us to respond quickly to potential threats, significantly strengthening our cyber defense posture. We're also increasing protection against phishing and malware through cloud-based email security. This upgrade will enhance filtering, threat detection, and policy enforcement across our email system. Another key initiative is the expansion of our vulnerability management platform. This will give us the tools to more effectively identify, assess, and prioritize vulnerabilities across our network, allowing us to take a more strategic and proactive approach to remediation. Finally, the last two of these initiatives on the slide were included in a grant application currently under review with Cyber Ohio. If awarded in June as expected, the grant will help offset costs. Alongside our major initiatives, our team continues to manage many important IT projects that directly support city operations and enhance our overall technology environment. On the hardware side, we're carrying out routine lifecycle refreshes and Windows upgrades across all departments. We're getting systems ready for seasonal operations at pools and camps, making sure everything runs smoothly during the busy summer months. We're also focusing on system and workflow enhancements. We're implementing advanced Active Directory monitoring, which will give us better visibility into user activity and help us manage access more securely. At the same time, we're integrating more efficient workflows for employee onboarding and offboarding, streamlining these transitions while maintaining strong security controls. From a software standpoint, we've begun rolling out a Microsoft Office upgrade to ensure that all staff have access to the latest tools for productivity and collaboration. And finally, in alignment with ongoing cybersecurity priorities, we're preparing to deploy a dedicated network monitoring system and conduct a professional penetration test. These efforts will help us proactively identify and address vulnerabilities before they can be exploited. In addition to our core projects, we've also completed several key upgrades this year that directly improve operations, service delivery, and collaboration across the city. We started by completing the upgrade of all police cruisers with new touchscreen tablets and integrated e-citation hardware. These enhancements allow for faster, more efficient field operations, giving officers the tools they need to stay connected and responsive. We've also rolled out a new cloud-based ticketing system to streamline internal service requests. While it is primarily in place to support IT help desk needs, we've expanded it to include dedicated support areas for marketing and communications and GIS. In collaboration with human resources, we've integrated onboarding and offboarding workflows into the same system. This has improved coordination across departments and increased transparency and accountability during staff transitions. While system upgrades and cybersecurity are critical, we also prioritize engaging directly with our colleagues across the city. One example of this commitment is our IT Cyber Cafe, a hands-on event that brought departments together for real-time support and collaboration. We welcomed 30 unique attendees from 12 different departments, creating a space for open dialogue, real-time troubleshooting, and collaborative problem solving. During the event, we addressed 35 distinct technical issues spanning 10 major categories. This was not only a chance to provide immediate support, but also an opportunity to better understand recurring pain points and build stronger relationships with staff citywide. This event was a resounding success, and we plan to host similar sessions in the future as part of our ongoing commitment to improving user experience and technical confidence across departments. As you can see, our team has been hard at work, from advancing critical infrastructure and security initiatives to supporting staff through hands-on training and responsive service. We're proud of the progress we've made and excited about what's ahead. Thank you for your time and support. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you so much, Director Carter. Any questions from my colleagues?
I just have a comment. I'm real happy to see the program with the police sharing of equipment and resources with different departments. Is that what you said at the beginning?
Oh, sorry?
The police department sharing with other departments?
EPSIS, yes.
Yes.
Yes, we're really excited about that program. We're having a great time getting everything up and running, and it's every time we reach a major milestone, it just is one more blessing we have. So we're on track with that to implement that late September.
That's great. It was proposed about 28 years ago, so I'm glad. I'm real happy. Fire got there first, but I'm glad to see police is getting along.
Chief Spence was really on the ball with this one, so he's made some great moves there.
I appreciate that from both of you. Thank you.
Other questions? Just one question for me. Will this be the first penetration test for the city?
It's not the first. I think there was one in 2017.
Okay.
I have the results of that one, but since it's been so long ago, this will pretty much be new. A lot of technology's changed since then, too.
Yeah. Well, congratulations and best wishes as you proceed forward. We can tell that you've made a lot of strides, a lot of progress in the department over the last few years, so good work. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. With that, we'll move on to Section D of the agenda this evening, hearing of visitors. I have one speaker slip this evening. Mrs. Kathy McCorkle, if you'd please approach the podium and state your name and address for the record, and as you know, you'll have 3 minutes for comments.
Kathy McCorkle, 677 Piccadilly, Gahanna. Tonight, this Gahanna City Council passes a resolution honoring those working in our public servant sector, to include the lawmakers sitting in the seats before me. In addition to tonight's resolution for public service, this council and the mayor also celebrate Black history, first responders, veterans, Native Americans, homosexual pride people, and many other groups, with one glaring exception. This sign represents my family and thousands of Gahanna natural family supporters who to this point have purposely been excluded from any of Gahanna's resolutions and proclamations. When I did ask City Council and the mayor for a resolution proclamation to celebrate Gahanna's natural families, I was not only told no, but given a lecture by the council president, Mrs. Bowers. Apparently, she, with the silent approval of the mayor and all of the other city council members, don't like how we define ourselves, our creed, our beliefs, and what we stand for, discouraging any public sentiment to the contrary. In considering resolutions, proclamations, this Gahanna City Council and the mayor refused to honor and celebrate their natural family residents who, like their counterparts in June, are proud of who they are as well. This sign represents thousands of natural family supporters living in Gahanna who are not entitled to the same equity from Gahanna lawmakers that other identity groups are entitled to. Apparently, it's okay to celebrate public servants like themselves while purposely excluding Gahanna practitioners and supporters of the natural family, an evidence-based best practice, by the way. I pray that the Gahanna mayor and city council reconsider their purposeful exclusion of the natural family residents of our fair city, perhaps in the light of the city's non-discrimination policy, and especially when it comes to their inclusion efforts. I thank you in advance for your consideration in this very important matter.
All right, Section E, consent agenda. This evening, we have one ordinance under Section 3 that requires a second reading. Mr. Van Meter, would you please read Ordinance 18 into the record?
Ordinance 0018-2025, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with Fishbeck for utility engineering services and declaring an emergency.
Thank you, Mr. Van Meter. With that, is there a first to approve the consent agenda as published this evening?
So moved.
I have a first by Mr. Schnetzer.
Second.
Second by Mr. Renner. Is there any discussion this evening? All right, hearing none, Mr. Van Meter, would you please call the roll?
Schnetzer,
Yes.
Renner,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
McGregor,
Yes.
Padova,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Bowers.
Yes. Motion carries and the consent agenda is adopted as published. Section F, ordinances for introduction and first reading. Mr. Van Meter, would you read Ordinance 19 into the record, please?
Ordinance 0019-2025, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a school resource officer, SRO, contract with the Gahanna Jefferson Public Schools for the 2025 to 2026 school year.
Great, thank you, Mr. Van Meter. And Section G, ordinances for introduction, waiver, and adoption. Mr. Van Meter, would you please read Ordinance 21 into the record?
Ordinance 0021-2025, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a pre-annexation agreement with Jimmy Toney, Darlene Toney, and Trivium Development LLC for parcels 170-000068-00 and 170-000069-00 and waiving second reading.
Thank you, Mr. Van Meter. First, I'd like to entertain a motion to suspend our rules and waive second reading on Ordinance 21-2025. Is there a first to suspend rules and waive second reading of this ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
All right, a first by Mr. Renner and a second by Mr. Schnetzer. Is there any discussion on the motion?
Madam Chair.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. I actually just want to add some public comment. My colleague Trenton Weaver really elaborated long on Facebook and gave a very nice summary about what this pre-annexation agreement is. And so I urge everybody to check out his website. But I just wanted to actually concur with those is that this is actually a very smart move on behalf of the developer, the landowner, and the city. A pre-annexation agreement is just doing their constitutional rights as a landowner and the developer to explore an opportunity, and the city can actually do the same and explore what it means for us. And one of the things that, for example, in the pre-annexation agreement, the zoning, it's Jefferson Township, and it doesn't change under these exploratory agreement, and the developer still has to go through the city's legal processes for that. So I just wanted to actually just concur and thank my colleague, and also just urge the public to just read the agreement, and this is actually a very good way of actually defining the terms for how we're going to engage. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Renner. Yes, and we are on the motion to suspend rules. Okay. So let's call roll on the motion to suspend our council rules and waive second reading.
Renner,
Yes.
Schnetzer,
Yes.
McGregor,
Yes.
Padova,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Jones.
Yes. All right, motion carries. So we'll now proceed to entertain a motion to adopt ordinance 21-2025. Is there a first?
So moved.
I have a first by Mr. Renner.
Second.
I have a second by Mr. Schnetzer. All right, now discussion on the underlying motion to adopt the ordinance.
Just see my comments.
Yeah, thank you. All right, Mr. Weaver.
Thank you, President Bowers. First, thank you, Mr. Renner, for the very kind words. Just to add on what Mr. Renner was saying, as a member of the, when I was a member of the CIC, one of the things, phrases we would use is, it's time to see if the parties want to go to the dance together. And that's what this pre-annexation agreement does. It is exploring whether or not the parties can go to the dance, exploring whether or not there can be city services provided to that parcel. It is an affirmative step by the property owners and the developer to investigate what that possibility may be. And I do appreciate Trivium and the property owners for coming forward with this. I especially, there was a good conversation last week at committee. Encourage folks to take a look at that as well. And I would just echo my gratitude to the developer for their willingness to reach out to neighbors and the surrounding property owners and meet with them. So thank you to them for that as well. So that's it for me.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Weaver. Any further comments on this ordinance? All right. I will just note, and echoing both Mr. Renner and Mr. Weaver's comments, this is a first step in a multi-step process. There will be ample opportunity for community engagement, feedback, and for us to continue to hear from residents about their thoughts. I wanted to thank the residents who have reached out so far, and I look forward to furthering this process and ensuring that ample opportunity. So with that, Mr. Van Meter, would you please call the roll?
Renner?
Yes.
Schnetzer?
Yes.
McGregor?
Yes.
Padova?
Yes.
Weaver?
Yes.
Bowers?
Yes.
Jones?
Yes.
All right. Motion carries. Ordinance 21-2025 is adopted with waiver. So thank you, Mr. Fisher and Trivium Development for your time this evening. All right, moving on to Section Section H, ordinances for introduction, waiver, and emergency adoption. Mr. Van Meter, would you please read Ordinance 2025 into the record?
Ordinance 0020-2025, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with Motorola Solutions Incorporated for the purposes of essential upgrades of communications center radio system infrastructure, authorizing a supplemental appropriation from the Capital Improvement Fund, waiving second reading, and declaring an emergency.
Thank you, Mr. Van Meter. Let's first entertain a motion to suspend the rules and waive second reading on Ordinance 20-2025. Is there a first?
So moved.
A first by Mr. Schnetzer? Second. A second by Mr. Renner. Any discussion on the motion to suspend rules? All right, hearing none, Mr. Van Meter, would you please call the roll?
Schnetzer?
Yes.
Renner?
Yes.
Padova?
Yes.
Weaver?
Yes.
Bowers?
Yes.
Jones?
Yes.
McGregor?
Yes.
All right, motion carries. So now I'd like to entertain a motion to adopt Ordinance 20-2025. Is there a first?
So moved.
I have a first by Mr. Renner.
Second.
A second by Mr. Schnetzer. Any discussion on the ordinance? All right. Mr. Van Meter, would you please call the roll?
Renner?
Yes.
Schnetzer?
Yes.
Padova?
Yes.
Weaver?
Yes.
Bowers?
Yes.
Jones?
Yes.
McGregor?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Motion carries with emergency. Ordinance 20-2025 is adopted. Section I, correspondence and actions. Mr. Van Meter, do you have anything?
Yes, Madam President. Just one item. I did email to council this evening, also shared with administration and city attorney. We did receive the AEP Ohio notice regarding their application to the PUCO. They're applying for a rates adjustment for the distribution side.
Thank you, Mr. Van Meter. We have one item under council correspondence and actions. Last week, I believe all council members and Mayor Jadwin received outreach from Superintendent Tracy Deagle, Gahanna Jefferson School District Superintendent Tracy Deagle, encouraging us to take a deeper look at the proposed budget that would impact fair school funding. I will turn it over to Councilwoman Jones for further elaboration on the proposed letter of support.
Yes, so that communication, and I think we've all seen our school board members and Dr. Deagle advocating for the state budget. The state budget has moved forward in the process, but there has now been some new language added that really speaks to carryover balances. So, as an elected body, I have proposed a letter that we would send to Senator Liston, Rep. Brown Pickle Antonio, as well as others on the Education and Finance committees. Few thoughts that you can see in the letter, but just wanting to also share them here for the record. So the carryover balance essentially would limit that to 30% or just 90 days. If that passes, Gahanna Jefferson is at risk of losing $15 million in the 25-26 school year. I think beyond that financial harm, the legislation restricts how elected school boards manage funds that voters approve. And I do believe that that's something as local elected officials should also defend. So you'll see all of that laid out in the letter. I welcome discussion, welcome potential revisions to that as well. But ultimately, I hope that everyone would sign on behalf of us as an elected body here in our community.
How would you like to solicit feedback? Would you like to solicit feedback this evening or on the dais, or would you like to have members reach out to you directly?
I think I'm open to doing that, either way. I think if we need to have it for the record, we can discuss it now. We can also send it to me if you need time to process and send that as well.
All right, well, then with that, I'll ask if my colleagues have any feedback on the proposed letter. Yes, Mr. Schnetzer.
Thank you, Madam President. So I received the copy, I think it was this weekend. One of the questions was already answered, which was like kind of what's the source of this? I guess the question that is still lingering in my mind is is it appropriate for the city of Gahanna, specifically the funding authority for the city of Gahanna, which obviously is all of us up here, to wade out into a state, law process that doesn't directly impact the city of Gahanna? So I'm reminded of a couple of years ago where there was a long debate about this topic of government speech. I'm not going to get into whether or not this technically fits or not, but I think it at least kind of there's some similarities there. I'm not going to discourage anybody from, in their own private capacity, sending this letter or a similar letter, but I do have some reservations about all of us adopting effectively a policy for the city of Gahanna for something that isn't directly impacting the city of Gahanna. Now, I will say parenthetically here, because of my day job, I'm acutely aware of some of the byproducts that this legislation, perhaps unintended consequences that this legislation risks in the aggregate. If any member of the school board, Dr. Deagle, any member of the legislature wants to talk about that privately, I'll extend that invitation. But when it comes to city council for Gahanna essentially signing on to this, like I said, I still have some reservations about that.
I wanted to share kind of where, and I appreciate, Mr. Schnetzer, your comments and some of your reservations there. I think for me, where this crossed the line was in the proposed 30% cash balance cap. And for me, that is such an intrusion on local control and a sovereign body being able to manage their finances, that for me caused me certainly pause that we as local governments continue to stand together against this intrusion on local control. I'm aware that there's an argument that a 30% cap or cash 90-day cap is somehow increasing transparency, but I think that from where I sit and from what I understand about our carryover balances, we are planning for projects. We are anticipating and being cautious because we understand what it means to have funding sources, perhaps not as present or as available as we'd like them to be. So for me, it's this final paragraph of the first page, or second to last paragraph of the first page, that really called me to action in support of the school district.
Yeah, and I think if I could add one other thing too, you know, I know that this doesn't directly impact, you know, what we have oversight, but it could have an impact on voters, meaning more frequent levies for our voters. And I do believe that we've been elected to represent the community, and anything that could potentially be more taxes for our residents, more ballot initiatives, I think that that's something that I believe we should advocate for as an elected body.
Yes, Mr. Renner.
Thank you. My colleagues are actually giving compelling arguments, and Mr. Snetzer, majority of me actually leans towards you. However, I don't think that this is so compartmentalized in the sense that as an elected official for the city, a trustee for the city of Gahanna, we do want vitality in our city, and schools add to that, a good school system and a well-funded school system. The other thing is that directly impacts us is we do offer CRAs, and we do offer TIFs and everything else, and so those, and I don't want to get into the nuances of those, but those do impact other municipalities. And so I'd like to step my toe in this, and in the sense of I have no problem with this letter. I think the state they're still doing their due diligence and they're going through their process, but I think they're being very silly and not being mindful of the residents of the state of Ohio. So, and I'll just leave it at that.
I had a couple of questions. I don't know if you know the answer, because I just started looking at this afternoon, but apparently 80% of the school districts have a carryover of some kind based on their numbers. But it says that we would lose $15 million. Is that because we have $15 million that would carry over or be above the 30%?
I believe it would be above that.
Okay.
I can clarify with the district, but my understanding is that that would be the amount that's above that carryover limit.
Okay.
I think
So
that's
then that would be returned to the property owners if this was in effect. It would be go back to the property owners, the taxpayers.
That is my understanding, but I will clarify and can share that back out with you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam President. I just want to make sure that, my comments are viewed through the right lens. I'm not commenting on the efficacy of the legislation itself. My comments are specifically about whether or not this is an appropriate action for the city of Gahanna to take, which if we all sign on to this, like I said, it's tantamount to, government speech and the city taking an official position. But as we've had this conversation up here from the dais, I was reminded of another question I had as I was reading through the letter, which is the bulleted section as you get to the bottom of, I believe, page 1. It is very specific. They talk about fully funding the fair school funding plan using current cost data, raising the minimum state share of the base cost from 10 to 20%, maintaining or increasing the state's overall investment in public school funding, and eliminating this 30% cash balance cap. While I think we can all look at that and logically say, like, directionally, we know what that's going to do, none of us up here truly know, because we're not the budgeting authority for Gahanna Jefferson Public Schools, what that means for the district. And again, I just go back to, I'm thinking there's a loose connection to what it means for the city. So again, for those reasons, I think a more appropriate approach to this would be, if anyone up here feels strongly about this, they can print this off, they can sign it. I think, the legislators hearing from voters, from residents, is probably more compelling than hearing from us up here. So we can encourage people to send it if they so choose to sign on. But again, I just have reservations about City of Gahanna, City Council making this our official position.
I would maybe suggest that we bring this back to committee next week and see if there are. Go ahead.
Yes, so let me go back and get the questions answered. Yeah, let me just go back and get the questions answered. I mean, this isn't legislation, so I guess I thought that, maybe it might be something that we can maybe have a discussion on, considering it's, not legislation. I am also welcome that, if we put that out there and people do with it as they wish, even if that means separately, go for it. Yes, we are elected, but we're also residents too. And many of us up here are also parents in the district. And so, yes, I recognize that means I'm writing this fully biased, but yeah, wearing those multiple hats is why I sort of brought it forward. But absolutely happy to bring back answers to those questions and can have it on the committee for further discussion if that be the will of the rest of council.
I think that's a great solution, and we can take it from there and make decisions about the method in which folks may or may not express their opinions on this. So thank you, Ms. Jones, for bringing this forward. We appreciate it. We also appreciate the proactive approach that the school district has taken to communicate to district elected officials and families about the impact of budget language. We also, I guess I'll take the opportunity to remind people that there is a primary election tomorrow that includes at least 2 issues on the City of Gahanna's ballots. One is a Mifflin Township fire levy that is for Mifflin Township residents that is not brought forward by the city, I'll clarify. And then the second is a statewide ballot initiative to change constitutional language to increase the threshold for the state infrastructure fund. So just a great opportunity to remind folks about their opportunity to exercise their right to vote tomorrow, right and obligation. All right, thank you for entertaining this discussion this evening. We'll move on to representatives, section J of this evening's agenda. Section number 1, Community Improvement Corporation, from Mr. Renner and Ms. Padova.
Yes, thank you. So I just wanted to give a brief summary of my report, since I didn't have it, my collective wits last time. Most of the information has already been like the state of the city and what have you. But the mayor did announce, and she probably will talk again, May 5th, 6th, and 7th are community meetings, engagement with for the strategic plan, and there's a lot more to come on that. We did go into executive session at 8:31 under the real estate action, under 121.22 of the Ohio Revised Code, and we adjourned at 8:43. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Renner. Ms. Padova, anything to add this evening?
The only other note that I had is just that Director Blackford mentioned that there have been lots of different inquiries this year to his office, which I think is encouraging, that there are a lot of businesses interested in trying to come to Gahanna and interested in finding out more about how they can be a part of our city. So that's all.
Thank you, Ms. Padova. Morpsey, Mr. Weaver.
Thank you very much, Madam President. Thanks as always to Council Office for their assistance in preparing the report. A couple items from that report to highlight. We do have our upcoming full commission meeting on this Thursday, the 8th. Couple of additional upcoming events. There's Securing Our Energy Future, Landscape of Energy Planning. It's an informational workshop on May 15th. That'll be held at Morpsey. There is an RSVP link included in the report. as well as a workshop related to strategic training for effective planning and zoning, or STEPS. That will be on Tuesday, May 20th. Again, RSVP link in the report. The MORPC is creating its first Economic Development Academy and is requesting insights from member communities. That is linked as well in the report. And the last items that I wanted to highlight, as usual, are the Money Mondays. Next week will be on air quality and funding, featuring Brandy Whetstone from MORPC, a former colleague of mine at the City of Columbus. And then May 19th, on Community Facilities Direct Loan and Grant Program, featuring Charles Dietz with the U.S. Department of Agriculture. And that'll be it for my MORPC report this evening.
Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Weaver.
Thank you.
The Economic Development Academy is very interesting, so thank you for bringing that to our attention. All right. Convention and Visitors Bureau, Councilwoman Padova.
Thank you. Last Saturday was the Gahanna's Herb Day Festival. It was rather wet for those of us who were there, but still lots of fun. Lots of plants, and they do have some that are left over that they did not sell out this year. So they do have some that are left over that will be for sale at the Herb Center. So if anybody missed their opportunity to get their herbs or maybe shied away because of the rain, you can stop by the Herb Center during business hours this week and grab whatever they have left over. This week is also Urban Restaurant Week, so you can see the Visit Gahanna social media or website to see all the participating restaurants. I believe there are 6 in total. And also my call out from probably now until June that CBJF is coming up in June, Creekside Blues and Jazz Festival. So if you would like to volunteer, you can go to Visit Gahanna and find out how to volunteer for that festival. And that's all for me. Thank you.
Is there going to be any coordinated council block for volunteering, or council or city block?
I have not heard council specifically, but I know the city usually does, and I think we've jumped in on that.
My understanding is that that's not available to us this year.
Okay. I do think that they changed around some of the entries. I think they had some other organizations that were jumping on board, so I will let you know if there is an opportunity for us to volunteer as a group. I can look into that.
Okay. Thank you, Councilwoman Padova. Councilwoman Jones, School Board Report.
Yeah, so only thing that I have this week is a reminder that it is Teacher Appreciation Week. So teachers are unsung heroes in our communities, so stop at a school, drop off some snacks, buy a coffee, whatever you can this week. If you look on any of the schools' Facebook pages, they have all of the different PTO links and whatnot where you can even donate. So thank you to our teachers. We appreciate you.
Not that we're counting down, but it is 3 weeks left of school.
Yes, I believe that my daughter counted as of Saturday. It was 18 when someone asked her at Herb Week, so definitely counting. Yeah.
Very good. Official reports, Mayor Jadwin.
Thank you very much. We were thrilled to kick off the month of May as Mental Health Awareness Month with Gahanna's first ever Mind and Wellness Fair last Thursday. We hosted 20 local organizations and service providers right here at City Hall that offered resources related to mental well-being and substance abuse, provided a wonderful opportunity for residents to come in, speak one-on-one with the providers, learn more about resources that are available in a safe and welcoming environment. Special thanks to our community liaison officers, Blair Thomas and Ed Joden, for all of their work in organizing that event. That is exactly the reason why those positions are so critical and why we created them, is to create that interface opportunity for the community to identify where the gaps are and figure out how we can fill those gaps that are now missing. We all know that we used to be able to pick up the phone and find a resource down at the county within a matter of minutes. And as we went through the pandemic and those resources became fewer and fewer between, and the calls were rising, we had to take it upon ourselves to find a way to fill that gap. So the community liaison officer positions are a great step in that, as is our mental health clinician, Jessica Curry, who was here as well, and of course our partnership with the community paramedic from Mifflin Township, Beth DeConnick, who was here that night. If someone was not able to attend but is interested in learning more, a list of the full list of the providers who were in that event is contained on our website at gahanna.gov, as well as other resources for mental wellness resources and substance abuse resources. We also will be promoting some additional events coming up through May, not only in Gahanna, but around the Central Ohio area, so that we can keep the conversation going around mental well-being throughout the month of May. Congratulations to American Legion Post 797, and I will specifically call out Crystal Cockrell and Tom Nealon for their work in a very successful third annual Walk in Our Boots 5K this past Saturday. Though the weather was rainy, the spirits were not dampened at all. There were 200 registrants in this year's event. I think the first year they had 60. Last year they had about 100, and this year it was 200, and including many of our Gahanna PD officers and Mifflin Township firefighters who were there. And I was very impressed because they were dressed in full uniform, carrying a lot of gear with them. So I thought they were showing off, but they looked quite impressive leading off the 5K. The funds raised from that event will support 100 veterans who are transitioning into housing after being unhoused for a period of time, and those funds will enable the Post to be able to supply them with essential items such everything from toothpaste to detergent, dishwashing liquid, all those things that you need to really get started in life again and give them a good, healthy lift. The Post is still accepting donations, and they also have an online auction that runs through this Saturday. You can find more information on what those auction items are. They might make great gifts for Mother's Day or for Father's Day coming up, but you could go to GahannaVets.org and learn more about that. It is Air Quality Awareness Week, so I would not be serving my role as Vice Chair of the Sustainability Advisory Committee for MORPC if I didn't mention Air Quality Awareness Week. And hopefully the rain will help with my sinus and allergies over the past week. But we are working with MORPC for the placement of air monitor, one if not more here within the city of Gahanna, so that we could also provide another resource for our Gahanna residents here to be able to monitor those conditions as they continue to change, whether through the spring, summer events as things unfold. Upcoming events, thank you, Councilman Renner. It is our Gahanna Vision Fest is this week, kicks off tomorrow, Tuesday, May 6th, from 5 to 7 p.m. at Hanna Park. This week represents a series of events that are the next phase of community engagement and the development of our strategic plan. After Tuesday, we have Wednesday, a small business networking coffee event from 7:30 to 9 a.m. at the Gahanna branch of the Metropolitan Library, a senior lunch from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Senior Center, and a Young Professionals Happy Hour from 4 to 6 p.m. at Edison Brewing on Thursday, all creating opportunities for residents throughout our community of various demographics to come, attend, share their ideas and input as we work to ensure that our city grows in a manner that really is in the direction that we collectively want to see it head, and that we become the city that everybody's proud to call home. If somebody's not able to attend an event, we do have an online survey that's available at ourgahanna.com. And then finally, I would like to just, if I could, take a minute and introduce to you the latest addition to our leadership team here at the city. I mentioned a few weeks ago that we had hired a new director of economic development. He started last Monday. I didn't think it was fair to throw him into the fire on his first day, so we had him come this evening. But it's my pleasure to introduce all of you to Mr. Jeff Gottke, who started again last Monday as the Director of Economic Development. Jeff comes to us after spending many years up at Knox County in their Knox County Area Development Foundation. Did I get that right, Jeff? Very good, very good. Where he really just did incredible work, not only building a team, but leading their economic development initiatives up in that neck in the woods, which is certainly seeing pressures that we're all seeing here in the region from the growth. Jeff, would you like to say just a word or two? You could tell already he's very prepared.
Yeah. It's good that you start off with that expectation. May not always be the case. So yes, I am finishing day 6 and have felt welcomed and prepared by the mayor and her team, particularly HR and IT, which we heard from earlier. So thank you, Mayor, for the opportunity. And no one has stuffed me in my locker yet, so it's very Good to be here in a nice, welcoming environment. Like I said, it's a pleasure to be here, both here at the City of Gahanna and here with you tonight. Part of my background is as a former city council member for the city of Mount Vernon, and sometimes your job is thankless, but it is hard to be a part-time representative of the public will. So I will thank you for doing that. If you don't always hear about it, sort of former council member to current, thank you for the work that you do. I'm excited to be here on the team. Gahanna is a thriving and vibrant community with a great deal of development momentum, and I look forward to working with you and the entire community to continue that momentum. I would like to meet with each of you in the coming weeks, if you would be so kind as to make some time for the lowly development director. I'll reach out to you individually. I did bring some cards, which I'll leave with you before you depart this evening, but I'll reach out individually to schedule that time. And please feel free to contact me at your pleasure. It's great to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff, and welcome aboard. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Jadwin, and thank you, Director Getke. It's nice to have you here. City Attorney Tamma Larison.
Yes, thank you. Earlier this year, there was passage of legislation that updated our appeals procedure for various boards and commissions. And so in conjunction with that, I am going through the rules and procedures for each board and commission for any potential updates, the first of which was the Property Appeals Board, which was presented at their last meeting last week. And so I'll be going through and working with Mr. Van Meter and reviewing those rules and procedures and making sure they're up to date and consistent with each other and with code. So that's all I have for today. Thank you.
Thank you, City Attorney. All right, with that, we are down to council comment. We will start with Mrs. McGregor.
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. McGregor. Mrs. Jones?
Yeah, just wanted to say welcome to Director Gotke. Glad to have you. And just a second kudos on the wellness fair last week. I was just really happy to see a diversity of different services provided. Got a chance to speak with Jessica Curry, who I just think is an awesome addition to our community. So kudos to all involved, and thank you for highlighting important things for our community.
Thank you, Mrs. Jones. Mr. Renner?
Yes, thank you. Just a couple of things. Last Friday, actually, I had the unique opportunity to get a in-depth tour of the new Franklin County Crisis Care Center by Adam H. It actually blew my socks off on their modalities. They have a triage center in the beginning. They have a philosophy of always moving forward, whether you're moving out of triage and into discharge or you're moving to greater care. Last week and this week, they are supposed to be reaching out to all the municipality area LEOs and other first responders. I don't know if Gahanna has participated in this, but I highly urge you to have this on your radar. They really want this to be the stop that all first responders and LEOs actually bring their cases. And there is a community open house. You probably have seen the email. I urge you to please go and see this facility. It really, really mind-blowing and compassionate care. May 15th from 4 to 6 at 465 Harmon Avenue. I was writing notes and I forgot what, May 19th, I am not going to be here. I'm going to be traveling with my family to the Sleeping Bear Dunes in Michigan, and I'm leaving my cell phone behind and all that kind of stuff, so you're not going to get a hold of me. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Renner. And thank you for bringing attention to the open house for the Crisis Drop-In Center. We learned about that a little bit at the Wellness Fair, so thank you for raising that. All right, Ms. Padova?
Thank you. In the last couple weeks, I have had the opportunity to go to Friendship Park twice for different things. First, the Artie Party that was held by the high school had all kinds of different crafts and activities for the little ones, which was a lot of fun. They also had the ribbon cutting for the bat hotels that they are putting into some of the parks. Learned a lot about bats that I did not know. Might need to get one of those in my backyard. And also the ribbon cutting for the new storybook trail at Friendship Park. So that was a lot of fun, also very wet. There is a bit of a spring showers theme here happening when I speak this evening, because we also went to the ice cream making that was a partnership with COSI and our Parks and Recreation Department last week on Friday. It was a great time, also quite wet, so I've been very appreciative of the shelter at Friendship Park the last couple weeks. But it was a lot of fun. There were lots of kids there. The patience of our Parks and Rec staff that were there helping the kids to shake the ice cream bags was very impressive. Last but not least, Director Gaki, thank you for speaking this evening, being here, and choosing Gahanna. Look forward to getting to know you a little bit more and serving on CIC with you. Thanks.
Thank you, Mrs. Padova. Mr. Schnetzer?
Thank you, Madam President. I suppose a couple of sports-related comments here. I do want to just say thank you one last time to our guests earlier this evening for ALS Awareness Month. ALS is sometimes referred to as Lou Gehrig's disease after the Hall of Fame first baseman from the New York Yankees. Lou Gehrig played 17 years in the majors from 1923 to 1939, playing in 2,103 consecutive games, which in part earned him the nickname the Iron Horse. He was a 7-time All-Star, Triple Crown winner, 2-time American League MVP, and member of 6 World Series championships teams. His career batting average was .340 with 493 home runs and 1,995 RBI, just shy of the 2,000 mark. He was a 1939 inductee into the MLB Hall of Fame. However, for all of his achievements on the field, he's widely considered, for all of his achievements on the field, and although he's widely considered one of the all-time greats, he's arguably best known for his farewell speech delivered midway through the 1939 season, often referred to as the luckiest man speech. The speech is available on YouTube. I would encourage everyone to go and view it. There's perhaps no greater demonstration of courage and grace under extreme trials and uncertainty, as is exhibited by Gehrig's farewell address. In the speech, he recounts his many blessings in his 37 years on this planet, including his teammates, opponents, his mother, his father, his wife, and in fact, his mother-in-law as well. I just think it's an incredible example of gratitude, which I think you guys have heard me quote Cicero in these chambers before. Gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but the parent of all the others. So I think there's really a lesson there for all of us when we invariably encounter life's challenges. Shifting gears a little bit, since our last council meeting, I had a wonderful opportunity to join about 24 fellow football coaches from the youth league on up to the varsity high school level, and what I believe is the first ever Gahanna football coaches clinic. The objective of the clinic was to bring youth, middle school, and high school coaches together to explore how we can all partner and elevate our community football program. The keynote speaker, if you will, was varsity head coach Bruce Ward, and he spent much of his time not discussing on-field tactics and strategies, but rather culture and what happens off the field. Things like making sure that players feel valued, recognizing that mistakes are opportunities to learn, not something that should be punished with shame. There was even mention of being mindful of mental health issues, which is, I can attest very clearly, was not something very common back in the day. I think all of this really speaks to his main point of emphasis, which is that as coaches, we are teaching life through football. Bottom line is football is a physical sport. There's no way around it. And coaches can use adversity in a game or a tough practice to communicate values like resilience, discipline, teamwork, and accountability. To me, it's evident that Coach Ward's message was more than just talk. One statistic that he had mentioned, or one factoid, if you will, was that in just the last 3 years, 27 Gahanna football players have gone on to play college football, including 19 at the Division I level. I will tell you that doesn't happen by chance. So there's clearly a very strong culture that's being built just on the other side of this parking lot. In conclusion, if anyone would like to learn more about Gahanna youth football, they can certainly reach out to me and I will put them in contact with the appropriate personnel. I'm sure some of you have already seen the community bulletin board signs around town indicating that registration is open for Gahanna youth football and a cheer as of yesterday at 5 p.m. And if any parents have a child grades 3 through 6 that would like to play what I believe is the ultimate team sport this season, they can go to www.gahannayouthfootball.com.
Thank you, Mr. Schnetzer. Mr. Weaver.
Thank you, Madam President. I'll be brief this evening. There's certainly been quite a number of community events over the last couple of weeks. So whether it was the ribbon cutting of the Storybook Trail, the Mind and Wellness Fair, Herb Day, or the Walk in Our Boots 5K, it was a pleasure seeing so many members of our community out and about, braving the rain. I look forward to seeing some sunshine and mowing my grass at some point when it's dry enough to do so. But I just want to say a blanket thank you to all of the volunteers, sponsors, Post 797, Visit Gahanna, Parks and Rec, the administration, who made all of these events possible, the community art program at the high school, who made all of these events possible and enjoyable for our community. It's been mentioned several times already, but there are a number of great opportunities coming up this week to get involved in the Our Gahanna process. Encourage folks to do that as well. Welcome, Director Gottke. It was a pleasure chatting with you for just a minute before the start of the meeting. Always great to see a fellow speech and debate enthusiast. I know the mayor shares that as well. So looking forward to working with you. Only heard wonderful things about you, so welcome to the city. And last but not least, it is Election Day tomorrow. Do get out and vote. Remember to be kind to and thank a poll worker while you're out.
Thank you, Mr. Weaver. I will chime in and offer my congratulations and thank yous to Community Liaison Officers Joden and Thomas on their very successful Mental Health and Wellness Fair. I will echo Mrs. Jones's comments and her assessment of the event. I think it was great. Congratulations and thank you to American Legion 797 for again hosting Walk in Our Boots 5K to raise money for a very worthy cause. And so I would thank the mayor for her comments related to that. We, as pointed out earlier, we do have a Public Service Month resolution on this evening's agenda, not just to thank the incredible public servants that work for the city of Gahanna, but for all of the public servants that live and work in our community, perhaps serving other communities or other regional bodies. Being in community service roles, being in public service roles, is a different animal, and it takes an incredible amount of patience and dedication to a bigger cause than yourself, and you are never not in customer service mode. And so I just wanted to make sure to recognize and reflect on the incredible public servants living and working in our community. And thank you to Mr. Weaver for bringing that resolution forward. With that, I think we will adjourn this evening's meeting. Thank you.